Should I tell a girl I'm flirting with that I'm not necessarily interested in a relationship?
Tell a girl I'm flirting with. It's like, why?
Well, I was just
Why
thinking
would
that,
you even need to
yeah.
volunteer that?
Well, girls are, they will probably ask, what do you want from this later on? If she's flirting with you, like, what do you want this to go from?
Oh, so because I did a members only video
Mm-hmm.
newsletter on this because the guy, this particular guy, he was in a relationship for 10 years with the same girl, and he admitted that he didn't really take seriously reading the book 10 to 15 times. I think he read it twice. And so he found out that for, I guess, sometime this last year, she started cheating on him, and the relationship turned really toxic. And so his attitude was like, I got fucking burned. I gave 10 years of my life to this woman, and she cheated on me. And I think what it was is he found me a couple of years ago. So, but he was with this particular woman for 10 years, and things just got worse to the point where she cheated on him. And he just said it was real toxic in the end. He didn't elaborate. But now he's kind of gun shy, and he's like, I just want to date. I want to have a good time. But he notices, like, when he goes out on dates, that women are like, so what are you looking for? What are you looking? I think it was, girls he's meeting online dating with her. And so he doesn't want to tell him that he doesn't know what he's looking for. Um, but he also doesn't want to appear indecisive and like he doesn't know what he wants. And so he did say also in his email that he's open to a relationship or getting serious with the right girl. But he's so gun shy and mentally, he's like, man, I just got cheated on. I spent 10 years with this girl. It's like, the last thing I want right now is a new relationship. And so I said, it's just be honest. Just say, I'm open to falling in love and living happily ever after with the right girl.
Hmm.
That's all you got to say. Because that's true. He said, with the right girl, I would settle down.
Yeah.
But his attitude is like, I'm not looking for a relationship. I don't really know what I want. But when people say, I don't know what I want, they actually do know what they want. They just don't want to say, and it's because they're afraid. And so in his case, he really would like to have a nice relationship. But after what just happened, he's probably thinking, maybe that's not in the cards. I mean, I was with this chick 10 years and she cheated on me. So you can understand the last thing he wants, now he's only been single for a few weeks or a few months, that he wants to jump in a relationship with somebody else. But he doesn't want to tell girls he's not looking for a relationship and then have them not want to go out with them anymore. Mm. And so when you say, well, I'm open to falling in love, living happily ever after with the right girl, then instead of having the attitude of, I hope she likes me, I hope she'll want to date me, I hope she'll choose me, now you're kind of putting the vibe out there that, because y'all like a guy that's a challenge that you have to work for. And so he's not trying to lock you down. In other words, he's open to the right girl. And so internally, when we like, well, maybe I'm the right girl for him. I could be the right girl for him. And so mentally, it becomes, what can I do to get this guy to like me more? And they'll try harder versus a guy that's already trying to lock you down to a commitment or get serious right away. Or are you dating anybody else? You shouldn't be dating anybody else, even though this might be your first date, that kind of thing.
That's so weird.
So it's better to give off the vibe that you're open to it, but because then she's got to work for it. And she'll actually do that. Because if you, in essence, start communicating that you're trying to lock her down, that you've already decided that she's the right girl for you, 9 times out of 10, what happens is the guy just will chase her right out of his life or smother her or try to do too much too soon where she feels like he's clingy or needy or he's trying to lock her down to a commitment. And she's like, I barely know this guy. And he's like ready to put a ring on my finger.
Or he'll hook up with her, the girl will give it up, and then he'll just ghost her afterwards. That happens a lot in New York City. A lot of people talk to me about that, how guys come on so strong in the beginning, and a lot of these women like that, I've learned, talking to them. They'll say, like, oh, I like the attention, I like it. But then, like, it'll just be just to use them, sleep with them. I see that a lot.
Yeah, what that tells me is the women can't tell when a guy is just bullshitting them to get laid versus when a guy really wants to hang out with them.
Yes, exactly.
And they're just going on the wave of whatever they feel.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're really attracted to the guy and he's saying all the right things and she's going, oh, maybe I met Mr. Right. Meanwhile, they ignore other things or other signs that he's just trying to get in her pants.
Yeah, there are women who are clueless too. I know in 3% Man, women, we talk about how they intuitively understand these things better than men, but I find that it's not a perfect science, where there are women who get very confused and taken advantage of by guys who are just looking to use them, or the guy thinks they like them. They're on a rebound. They just got out of a divorce or whatever. They're on a rebound, and they meet this woman. This happened to me too. I started dating this woman last year, and I was like, after a few months, I realized it's not exactly what I wanted. But in the beginning, I was like, oh yeah, it's perfect. And I feel like that happens, and the women, they get screwed over. Has that ever happened to you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when I was
Yeah.
younger, it's, when you're young and you're horny and you're trying to get experience, you're trying to get laid. There were many times my young friends were out. And the girl really likes you and you're kind of into her, but you can tell she really likes you. And she's hoping this is like some magical thing that's happening. In reality, you want to get laid. You want to bust a nut. And so you would give her the impression that you're kind of feeling the same way. You're more into her than she's into you. And then when she gives it up, you dip because you weren't really into it. And, what oftentimes happens is the girl's projecting her fantasy, it's like guys do, of what she wants. The guy confirms it. And so she just takes it at face value, but ignores other things he does and says that don't really, his actions don't really line up with somebody that really would mean the things he's saying. So in other words, in the moment, he's happy to embellish, use a little hyperbole, make her think that he's more into her than she actually is, so she gives it up. And she feels a connection, and she's like, "Well, he feels the same way. Let's just get together." And then, like you said, he goes to her. So I would say a lot of those women, that's what's happening. They're projecting their fantasy and ignoring the fact that the guy's really not feeling it. He's just kind of bullshitting them. You can tell it something's off. Are you sure? Women will say that when they sense that you're not really congruent with what you're saying. Are you sure? And the guy go, "Oh yeah." I should go, "Okay." But in reality, it's like he's not that into it. If you can tell in his body language he's not really feeling it, and you guys know the difference. But everybody bullshits themselves.
Yeah. I met a gal last year. I was traveling and I met this gal in a hostel I met her for like 10 minutes and we were talking and we ended up taking the train into the city together because I had to catch a flight. I was in Paris at the time and she was Brazilian living in Ireland and she was traveling in Paris for whatever reason. And we took the train, we're talking, and we exchanged Instagrams. And she'll never see this, so it doesn't matter. But she like fell in love with me over WhatsApp and wanted
She
me.
fell in love with the idea of who she thought you were.
Exactly. And I think it's because like I was in the hostel. I'm just like a dude. I'm a man. I was just like, hi, how you doing? Good. Yeah. I didn't, she was beautiful, but I didn't treat her any special way. And just talking on the train, I was just taking a genuine interest in who she was because it was traveling, and I was never going to see her again. And then she wanted me to come to Ireland to see her, and I toyed with the idea, but I was like, I don't know. And then I met my girlfriend, like my current girlfriend. I met her like not that long after the trip, less than a month.
She took your being nice as you being interested.
Yeah, and I was certainly interested because she was so into me that I was like, okay, that's cool. But I knew it wasn't like I was head over heels. I knew it wouldn't work. I just wasn't like when I met my current girlfriend. I'm like, this works. For whatever reason, we meet one. There's a few people that come along every so often. It's not one-itis, right? But it's like maybe like there's out of the billions of people in the world, there's like 100 that maybe
Have the
more.
same goals and values, and you actually like hanging out with, and who actually likes hanging out with you.
Yeah, yeah, and exactly, and it just you can't choose it, as you know, and
Yeah, it's
I
like I
she
always say, how often do you meet a new best friend?
exactly, and
Almost never happens.
this Brazilian woman was very upset with me when I just like stopped communicating with her back and forth because I'm like I'm not gonna get to know you over WhatsApp. I'm sorry. I'm open to maybe coming and exploring the city and like having coffee with you while I'm there or whatever, Dublin or wherever she was from, but she was very upset and she fell in love with the idea of me. It was very strange.
That's true.
Very strange.
So,
Well, how long were y'all on the train together?
like 45 minutes.
Oh, okay. She had an hour and some change.
I guess I'm a special case.
Love at first sight. Yeah.
She enjoyed it, I guess.
Maybe the other men she meets they don't carry the same intellect or conversations with her as you did.
Perhaps.
So maybe that she probably found that more attractive, and men that she was dating were not probably in the same ballpark of the way they act.
Perhaps.
But who knows?
Or she wanted to go to America.
Ah!
She wanted
Yeah.
a visa.
Yeah, she was already in Ireland, so I mean, it's first world. But.
She saw a green card in her eyes.
Yeah. She didn't see green. She saw green cards.
I had, when I was like going on like dates, the 2 guys I dated were like needed green cards. I was like, ugh.
Did you say, "Oh, I'm still married. Sorry."
Yeah, I did, and they already knew.
I can't help you.
But yeah, it was pretty interesting.
I've been propositioned once for that by a gal, an Irish gal actually. It's like 7 years ago. She needed to get married to stay in America. I said no. I said, "Are you crazy?"
Fuck that.